This is what I would do with students is like I just introduced that we have the stream elements, right? And you can think of it as like an in between you and your Twitch service, right? So what it allows me to do, and let me see if I can. Is that clear enough to see right there?
I see chat box.
Right. Okay. So I created an overlay. I need to look at my screen to see what I'm delivering to. Right. And what you're seeing there, the text on the right, is the information in OBS in the OBS chat. All right. Now that when you're in OBS, and I'll show you this in a minute, that information is a dockable window, right? So what is happening is when I go to the I'm on a live stream, and when I go to this dockable chat window or whatever, and I type in something, it goes to a source in OBS. Now, what is that source? It's a browser source, and a browser source is just a URL. So what this company Stream Elements does is they give you this thing to do overlays with, and you allow it access to your Twitch or to your target stream platform. So I created a chat box, and I can edit it at the top level. Loading. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go in here and see if I can get. What's interesting about this magnifier is it allows me to drag across two HD monitors, so I can move around across two monitors. You see that? All right. Now, what I want to get this to is where we can see well what we're on. So if you see this sidebar here, that tells me I'm in the browser, right? And I'm on the Stream Elements that's connected to my Twitch stream. Right. Now, I wish I just had a pan, or if there was some the thing that there's like with this magnifier. Maybe I need to go find out how to use it. But hey, you can see that, right? Well,
I can see it, yes.
right. So this grid with the dots, right,
Mm-hmm.
is the setup of my chat box for my layout. All right. Now I go in, and I've made a custom theme. It says set it to show messages permanently. I could let the messages fade after so many seconds, right? And messages are delayed by 2 seconds, right? And I the 2 second delay, I guess it would give you a chance if somebody's gonna say something. Like I'm not running any protection on my chat, so somebody could type porn something or whatever awful, and I don't have the protection turned on. Until somebody forces me to do that, I don't want to put those constraints on it.
Right.
But in order to get this, what I've got here, my chat appearing like this, right? I go down here and I have a background color, and I could set the chat. I can make the chat box any kind of size that I want, and I can make it. What I've done is I've made it transparent. You see this?
Right.
So
So why is the background black?
because there's nothing behind it.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you an example. So I'm going to just accept this, and it's going to take me back to where I was before, and I can put in, like, enter a username to ignore. Right. There's some features here that I can control. Now the text itself. Okay. This is the position, size, and style, and so I hit, because of the layouts that I want, I hit upon 500 by 600 is what I like, and it's just a little bit off to the side. Now, I haven't solved this, but for some reason the default size of your source, your browser source, is 800 by 600, right? So when I put this object, and I'll show this to you in a minute, when I put this source, this browser source in there, the frame of it is going to be 800 by 600. But it will be empty except for a 500 by 600 piece. Now that's something that I don't know if I can change that yet. I can rotate it, I can center it, and then we'll go to text settings. Here's another big question. On Stream Elements, I can enable a custom font, right? And this drop down, I know Verdana is on most Windows systems, and when I use Comic Sans Verdana or Impact or whatever, they work. But when I go down here, this is a question that I have. You see, I have a lot of fonts that it's offering me to be able to use.
But those are fonts that you own on your system, and they may not be on whoever's system.
I don't think so, actually, because I was thinking, and this is a problem I need to solve or search about. I tried many of these different fonts, and also so I was looking at all of them, and I have Hebrew on my computer. I've got Russian fonts, I've got Hebrew fonts, I've got Chinese fonts, I've got traditional Chinese fonts and simplified Chinese fonts, I've got Japanese fonts, Korean fonts, and they do not appear here. They do not. So it's a question of where these things are and why they don't. Some of them don't work. If it's like it goes to if I pick a font and it doesn't work, what happens is what I'm outputting here turns into like Times New Roman. Right. I don't know the reason behind that, but it's a question. It's something that needs to be figured out. Now, there's the color, right, of the font. These are kind of dim, but it's an RGB swatch, and the text can be partially transparent too. But you have to work out what visually is going to work for you. You can do the line height, the font size, the letter spacing, word spacing, etc., the justification, and then I've got a 0.5, and I don't know, it looks like a bigger than 0.5 pixel stroke actually in reality, and I can change the color of the text stroke here with this swatch. Can you see that?
I see.
Yeah. And this was very easy to set up. You just go on to the Stream Elements and connect it to your service, like to your Twitch. Okay, and it's like an app that you allow. You know how on your phone it says, "Do you want this app to access your the
Right.
computational powers of your things.
Your location, your
Yeah,
this, your
whatever like that. Yeah, so
your
you
your
you go in and essentially give Twitch control to this, right? And I always hesitate with something like that because it's like my Twitch password is like the hardest frickin' password of anything because you just don't want somebody to crack into your Twitch and broadcast porn and get you banned, you know.
right.
Which would be something if so. And this is something you have to be concerned about if you're a gamer. Say you're a big Valorant gamer and you have millions of viewers or something like that. Is that the people that you're beating in the game on live stream, may want to actually do something harmful to you
Right.
in reality. Uh, so, and boy, I tell you, I try to just be funny and take things. I don't get mad when people beat me on a game. I try, sometimes I get a little bit frustrated, annoyed, or something like that. But I shouldn't, you know. um, but yeah, some people do. They're like, man, they come after you, and it's interesting on Mech Arena. There are about 450 known AI bots, and when new players start playing, generally, and most people that I've talked to, they say, "Oh yeah, when I started playing, I thought those were all people too," because they have names like Lasagna Love and Dirk Hard Peck, you know, and they have names that when you appreciate the fact that Plarium is an Israeli company, they have some very funny Jewish irony names. Like Star Wars is real popular, and they named a bot Chewbacca, right? And you know, the thing about it is you can see that they've made bots that have some kind of Indian sounding name or something to make you think it's a Japanese person or something. All these international sort of clues in the bot names that would make you think, oh, that's a person from Japan. That's the name that they would make up, right?
Right.
So Jewish irony, I think, is Chewbacca, because in these mystery religions, yeah, you had the phenomena of you bring about a manifestation of God in the flesh, and then you eat him to get your to get become like him or whatever like that. And I put from my study, I think that's really the source of in like, for example, in the Catholic Church, you are required to believe that turns into the actual human flesh, God/human flesh that
Right.
you eat or whatever. So Chewbacca, to me, that was really funny because it's like eat the God or whatever. Because they had these other names that were kind of like Jesus Saves or I Love Jesus or something like that, and then they had Chewbacca's. But the one thing I wanted to say that's interesting about people getting furious is really, and you could imagine in real live combat, in a real life combat situation, you don't want somebody to go, you killed my buddy, I'm going to get you. And, running across a very dangerous area or whatever, just trying to focus in. And usually you find in these shooter games, if you get mad at somebody and you try to go after this one person, a lot of times you're going to get killed even worse because people are going to take advantage of that. But the fascinating thing is that one of the things that makes the bots fool people is that they're programmed to go for the revenge badge. So when somebody destroys one of your robots in the game, you get a badge if you go back in and destroy that. That's the revenge badge, right? So
Right.
the AI bots, it turns out, are programmed to go for the revenge badge. So they start to their own detriment to try to chase you, right? After you destroy them, and it's just the kind of stupid thing that real people do. You shouldn't do, right? They say artificial intelligence, and I was like, we should coin the term artificial stupidity, right? Because that's what it is. But anyway, I can put a shadow on there. You can't see my shadow, but right now. But hold on, I'll go up. I'm gonna generate some fresh text in here. Let's see. That'll go up in a second, unless it's off the. I'm gonna get a little bit bigger piece of text, and what that is gonna require is going back down to regular size. All right, so I'm getting a browser up here now. With students, what I had planned to do today is go through OBS. I would look at what we did the last time, which was Roblox, and see if they were able to install Roblox, and if they were able to build and publish and make public a game scene, and show. Freya actually worked on the scene that we worked on in the class. Do you remember I was making like a tree house, playground, and a store or whatever? And after I got out of the class, Freya got on and worked on the scene, and I'm going to show that to you in a minute. But what happened? What would happen if I with this class today would be the installing OBS Studio, and then getting it set up, and I'm to do the things that I'm doing right now. I don't know. Are you willing to put OBS on your system? I think it would be good. But
on my list was to clone this drive so that if I screw it up, I have something I can recover from.
Okay, well then don't worry about installing.
I'll put that on my list when we get through today. So I'll clone this drive. What I do is I have some software that you can't get anymore, and it works on this machine. And of course, I'm just waiting for the Windows update that breaks everything. But when Apple quit supporting QuickTime, it broke a lot of things on programs of mine that really ticked me off.
Yeah, it's a mess. It sure is. That's why virtual machines are real important. What happened, dear? The cat scared you?
No, he scared me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Want a hug? Kissy kissy. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. All right, so let me show you what this text looks like on a background. I'm gonna bring it up here. So that's the current setup that you're seeing on my screen, and because this is a black background here, you're not seeing the drop shadow.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna drop this down here, and for example, I just want to check. I might. All right, I'm going to show you what I'm getting ready to do. Let's see. All right. All right, so, and I want to look and see what I'm seeing. So I brought my OBS interface up to the front, right? Now you can see these are the objects. What all this is it's an image slideshow with animated GIFs. So I add a source, and then I set the directory where the and it's really the same directory. So I'm showing the same animated GIFs from multiple directories, or from multiple sources, a single directory. And since they're random, you see different stuff in the different windows. Sometimes they sync up, but that's how you do that. Now what I want to do here is I'll add a source. I'm kind of looking to see. Okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm in a scene. The scenes are created here, right? And I want to add a source, right? Now, plugins, these are the default ones that you get. But you may install plugins from the OBS project website. People write free plugins for it. And then when those plugins are loaded, this is one of the places where you may see them appear for accessing them. Oh, you want some more? You do? You want the fruity cereal? All right, so I'm going to add a media source. And I should get a dialogue. Okay, here it is. See the dialogue? It
Right.
says create new or add existing. So I'm going to put background. Oops. Create new, right? And I'm make source visible, and I'm gonna hit OK. Right now, that could be, a movie file,
Right.
and it's gonna play live in the stream. If it's got audio on it, the audio is gonna play. So it's just like, here's your TV program, boom, and it's going out to a live stream. So you can see on Twitch, there's a guy that that takes all the public domain stuff that he can find, and just 24 hours a day has a channel out there. And I think it's a good idea. I think his problem is that he doesn't really. It's like some stuff is in the public domain because it's like awful. You don't want to watch it. So I'm gonna tell this thing to play over and over again. And I'm going to say use hardware decoding when available and close file when inactive. Now, yes.
So the file that you're going to put there is something that's resident on your computer.
Right. Now, this is a thing with Streamlabs. Streamlabs is like, oh, you can log into Streamlabs from any device, and all your media is going to be in the cloud, right? So my concern is like, does that degrade or affect performance? If I have HD, professional, this is a Pro 1920 by 1080 background, so I'm going to load it. And hit OK. And I'm going to look for degradation on the Google Classroom.
Well, and I guess my question is if you're putting it in the cloud, is there a copyright issue of if it's your content, do they go, oh, well, we now
No,
At
they
the
can't.
very least, have access to it to give it.
Well, yeah, yeah. If it was something that was secret or something like that, like this was a thing about the product that I was working on with Linden Lab, the Sansar product, is that the architects were very interested in it because it would allow you to take your architectural model and allow the client to enter in the building in VR and walk around and everything. Just click and go. Just load the thing in there and play it. But when the architects found out that all the stuff resides on an Amazon server, they were like, "Hell no, we can't put. This is our private company architectural, building product or whatever. We can't just drop it anywhere." Okay, so now if you look here, you can see my screen. I dropped in that media source and now it's just looping, and it looks pretty good on my. Is it relatively clear on yours?
I mean, it looks pixelated to me on my end.
Um, it's yeah, it's got some compression artifacts going, right? And that's a Google Classroom type of thing, and that's one of the reasons why the background was black, because I had noticed that degradation. But you see how I can drag it down to the bottom, and when that white line, well, okay, you can't see it actually. I just dragged it down the list until it was at the very bottom. Right, so these things stack in layers. So now, if I go back, and I need to find my magnifier, I'm going to go back to 100%.
Now, in the stack order, is that assigned priority?
It's just top to bottom. Whatever's on the bottom is behind everything else.
Oh, okay. So it's a layer.
Yeah, and so let me see. Now you can see that is now the background, and it's now you can see there's you can see a little bit of the drop shadow on the text from Streamlabs.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do right now is like say for example we open up. First thing I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna turn this off, and I'm gonna I need to get OBS back onto the screen where you can see it. All right, now as far as floating docs, there's the stream information right there. These are all the docs that you can have. They show various things. Now, all these docs, you can send them, like just with OBS by itself, just like the chat box.
Right.
I have to create a browser source element in order for that to appear. So on the stream itself. So what you're seeing, the Comic Sans with the drop shadow here, what you're seeing is coming from streamelements.com, linking and allowing me to create that kind of canvas and layout, and then I can put it in the chat box. Now I want to reiterate that like Streamlabs is a third party that's using OBS Studio, the original OBS Studio. OBS Studio is free, and it's a public license. It's protected as a public license, and that has some good things. It's got a lot of people out there writing stuff for it, plugins and so on. So it is possible to not do this on Stream Elements, and but so far I've been pretty dang satisfied with Stream Elements. It hasn't harmed me in any way, right? So I was in a situation.
So Stream Elements is a third party that has basically taken OBS
and added, for want of a better term, a layer on top of it that gives you more functionality.
It allows you to take it allows you to take a streaming application and link it to a platform such as wherever you're streaming to, like StreamSpot or Facebook if you're streaming directly to Facebook, or YouTube or Twitch. So, but as I said, this morning I wanted to stop using Streamlabs because the dang thing was taking an hour to start. And talking about it needs like so many gigs of memory and stuff like that, and I was just like, this is a real piece of junk here, and it's even more so a piece of junk when you compare what you're getting right here with OBS, where I'm in OBS by itself, and I'm doing everything that I could. The only thing I was missing was the chat box that was kind of an imperative, because I need to, when I'm streaming in game and a viewer comes on to my stream and wants to play in the game, I need to be paying attention so I can get their ID and get them into the game, and that yeah, it really makes for interesting interactions. And I've since my stream happens typically from 4:30 in the morning, 4 or 5:30 in the morning, and it's a 3 to 4 hour stream. I'm meeting a lot of people from India because that's like 2 in the afternoon until 6 in the evening, and it seems like it's sort of a break over there. So some people go to night classes or something like that, but these there are a lot of very advanced players that are so good on Mech Arena that they build up Mech Arena accounts. They play, and build up an account, and then they sell the account for $50. Right.
Hey, sell 100 of those, that's serious money.
Yeah. So they'll go online, and I've seen this in the I'll be in the hangar in the morning, and some guy from India will be, check out my hangar. I'm selling this account for 50 US dollars, and they give you you pay them, they give you the login, and it's all yours. And it's in my case, I guess I started when the PC version of Mech Arena came out, and I got some advantages for being on in the beginning and going through beta and everything. They gave you some special deals and stuff like that. But I haven't spent any money, which means to have what I do have, I've got to play every day. Otherwise, you have to actually, you have to buy stuff because you won't get it otherwise.
If you don't use it, do you lose it?
No, it's not like that. And there's some things that have changed since the game became went out of beta and became official release or whatever like that. There's some things about the progress path that have changed. The way that you get access to more advanced robots has changed, and some of them. It was like part of the deal. You have them because of your participation at an early level. You have the advantage of having a robot that you can't get any other way. But gradually over time, they're adding.
Dad, I'm full.
You're full, and what do you want?
Play with Legos.
Okay, get the Legos down.
Play with Legos with me.
Okay, here, come here. Get your Legos over here.
It's so heavy.
Let's see. It's probably about time to bring this to a close. But here? Let me get that down for you. I'll get it. Hold on. Oh, just let me pull that off. Okay, good. All right. All right. You want to put them up on the table here with me? All right. So, but what I want to do just as a last thing is create a new scene, so you can get a feel of
Yeah.
hold on, dear. I'm coming. All right. I'm just gonna name it. Oh. I'm gonna just leave it. Okay, so that's what you would normally see. See that? Just a black. Okay, let's get the crayons out of here. Let me get the light turned on a little bit here, and get the Legos out on the table. All right, so you got a black screen, and that's what you're delivering. I'm about to end the stream. You go and you add a source in here, and put your video capture device. Ooh, add existing, right? And boom, there's my device. And I can scale it. And do various position it however I want in my layout, and that's what's being delivered
Dad, you're so big.
to the stream. Now, just as if I do the image slideshow, create a new one. I'm not going to add a name to it. I'm going to always say stop when not visible, restart when visible. I can't imagine why anybody would want it to be constantly using system resources. It sounds bad, like not what I would want. Okay, so
There's tickle in my legs.
all right. So I go to, and I have a folder set up with a bunch of these GIFs, and let's see. What do I want? I wanted Peter Lorre, right? And now I'm gonna get a random playback of all these Peter Lorre videos. Or what are you scared of? You scared of the guy? Oh yeah, that's Peter Lorre. He's scary.
Yeah, I want that to turn it off because
Oh, okay, I'll turn it off. All right, let's get rid of it. So, like if you search on Tenor for Bela Lugosi, you get all the, the great, the famous
Can we make
shots
something
from White
colorful
Zombie
that's
or
out can we make something colorful?
sure we can, we
I
can.
want this red.
All right. So there we've added sources, and I can add a display capture, right? And I could put I'm going to put the existing display capture source that I have, and there it is,
Destroy this house.
right? And just as an example, by way of illustration, I'm going to add my other display display capture. Pull it apart. Pull it up. Yeah, there you go.
Now, you're doing this in OBS or Streamlabs?
I'm doing it in OBS,
Okay.
so I can see here. I'm adding another display, right? And I want to look at this on my screen here and see what I've got. That's what I'm delivering to the stream. So I'm taking a look to see. Okay, now notice you just saw the OBS, right?
Right.
So I'll bring it up. All right, now the there are three things running. There's a streaming button on, and there's a recording button, right? I always record in the event that the internet is screwed up or whatever, and I don't want to lose a file or whatever, so I always record, right? Because then I've got a local MPEG-4 high definition recording set at whatever resolution that I want that I can work with, and it's right on my local machine. But I'm running a virtual camera, and the virtual camera is what I'm delivering to the classroom. So Google Classroom is showing
Can we build
that's the webcam.
a house?
Yeah, here we go. Let's get the pieces together. Do you want a square?
Yeah.
Now, is the virtual camera the anime figure?
No. Okay. The anime figure is a
house
class
or a house?
participant,
Okay.
Like a pretty
right?
house. not a
I'm and
Make
oh,
a pretty house.
okay. I'm gonna try to make it pretty, but first I have to get the ground piece to be put together. So they're set together. Do you have a door that you would like? A pretty door? See? Choose one of the pieces or something. Would you like to use this piece?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll put that underneath it, and then it'll be like the grass or something.
So what you're saying is load OBS Studio.
Yeah, you should install OBS Studio.
I'll
Now-
try to do that before tomorrow.
Now what?
But when I get off here, I'll clone this drive and have my David class thing that I'll put in.
Now, I just out of I'm personally curious if I use the magnifier, right? I've got what I'm seeing now is the magnified display source, right? So it's just something that I want to try.
And why is it creating that, like shooting a camera into a mirror effect?
It's because it's it's just the same reason when you sit down in a barber shop and the mirrors on the opposite walls go off forever down into infinity. It's exactly the same reason, because it's a camera looking back at a camera looking back at a camera, right?
Okay.
And it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's they call that I guess infinite mirror. And if I'm showing OBS, I'm always going to see, if I'm showing the interface on stream, I'm always going to see infinite mirror like that. And so that's it. That's pretty much it. Just a quick recap. We looked at. I wanted to look at Roblox, but Roblox Studio to show what Freya did yesterday. Wait a second, is it running? I should just do that.
We got 2 minutes.
All right, let's see. My games is what I have to click on. Okay, so what she did yesterday, if you remember, I set up the playground. Yeah, this is the one. And I'm gonna. Your call ends in 2 minutes. Okay, it's gonna be cool. We'll just see if it will load. But doom 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 doom. Much better performance. All right, so she went down and did all this stuff, and I was just amazed. a lot of times, a kid will just go, yeah, just do it, man, and just do all this stuff, and it was like, yeah, I can do this, and see if I can get it to play. Yeah, it's getting ready to play now. So you'll be able to see the difference between what she did, what I did yesterday, which was put down the grass, and then I put down the building, the playground, and the tree house. Oh, ouch! Sorry about that.
That sounds crazy. That sounds like crazy. Can I